Hello, how are you guys doing? I started and then I exited and then I went back in. Thank you so much for the subs. I have 51. I'm trying to reach 100. I'm trying to do my best to reach as many organic subs as I possibly can, without promotion or collaboration. Eventually, I am going to promote my channel, but I'm hearing that it's not that effective. So I don't know if spending that much money would be great. But I might do it once and see if it works. But just to get my stuff out there. So yesterday I did a channel, I did a live, and I was distracted because the George Pino trial was on, and they were doing the verdict. So I kept looking, and I apologize about that. But I mean, regardless of how you feel about this case, and I thought he was definitely guilty. But then you got to look at the facts, and anyway, it's just tragedy. But anyway, so I'm going to Portugal soon, and what I'm looking for are, well, first of all, I'm sorry for backtracking, but let's try to get to 100 subs, okay? I'm really pushing for that. I put on a lot of content. I'm a content person. I'm all about information. It gets boring sometimes, but it is something that is my passion, and I'm always trying to dig for the truth. I'm always, because I mean, we're all human, and whether it's dealing with a mechanic, dealing with a doctor, dealing with this, I don't like being told lies about anything, about history, about traveling. I don't like being fear mongered. I mean, there is, when you go anywhere, you do have to be safe or do anything that is risk averse or whatever. You do have to be safe, but I don't like to be fear mongered. I don't like to be told something that's not true just to get me to do something. I don't like to be manipulated. I like to be told the truth about everything. Um, my health is important to me. That is my number one priority. My physical well-being is important to me, but I also don't like being put, you know, being stuck because I'm afraid. That's just not my thing. I'm a very motivated person. Generally speaking, I'm a very happy person. I mean, life is just life. You got to deal with those things. And I think coffee solves that. Coffee makes me happy. If I have coffee with me while I'm doing something tedious, I'm in a good zone. And the gym. The gym is very important. So with that said, I'm looking for tips and suggestions for Portugal. I'm not looking, I mean, I am gonna do the iconic places. My time there is not long, but I did that on purpose because I noticed that I get bored kind of, and I don't really, not that I'm bored, it's just I don't like to pop around. I don't like to go from one island to the whatever. I just like to stay and get to know the place. And it works out beautifully. But I'm only there for 8 days, and any tips, like not like so iconic places. Those places I've covered, but I want like museums and suggestions for places to go that no one really goes to. That's beautiful. And I've heard Portugal is beautiful, like a lot of other countries. And so I really want to, I like to, take pictures of street art. I like to do those things. Any suggestions for restaurants? Any suggestions for whatever it is? You know, food ideas. I don't know all the food types. Like in Spain, they had, their their iconic dishes, and I enjoyed it, but I didn't really like it. So what is Spain's? famous dishes. Yeah, like the paella. I mean, I wasn't too thrilled with the paella. I didn't have a lot of the tapas I had. It was really good. But that's everywhere, but not the Spain kind was good. But like I wasn't too thrilled with paella. So if I look for Portugal dishes, um, and again, I don't know anything about Portugal. So they have like I guess the bacala bra. I don't know how to pronounce that. And then the grilled fish, and I know fish is probably famous over there, but I'm just Googling, and if you have any suggestions, that would be really great. So before I get into that, I do want to make sure that you do know about my website. That my books are published there if you're interested, and you could find them anywhere. I'm going to put that in the chat so that it's there. And then my Cash App as well. And it's not, like I said, you're not in any way obligated to do any anything. I'm just saying if you like my content, and even 50 cents is good. But it's the safest way for me to, it's just a way to give tips. I like it. You can just get a card with it. But there's my Cash App. Oh no, is it? Oh yeah, so my website is there, and then my Cash App is there as well. Let me see what else. And my books and my content is all there. Also, my email is on my website if you're interested in contacting me. But any suggestions? Like there's a church that I really love churches, and it's something I always try to visit whenever I go anywhere. Let's look at the churches first. So if I were to look at the churches, let me see, share. I always forget how to share the screen on StreamYard. So like they have, the Geron, I'm definitely going to go see the monastery, and the Ingra de São Roque. I'm going to definitely go see that. And these, so, it says plan ahead. So I'm always going to ask the locals. But these churches are beautiful. So anyway, if you have suggestions, please let me know in the chat. And then food, let me see. Oops. And then the food. Portugal dishes. So like they have these different foods, and like with the paella, I love eating. I love my foodie, that is for sure. But I also have to watch my weight. But I like to eat things that are filling. Like in Greece, when I was on a Greece food tour, I was like full with a food tour, but they also fed us the way it was great. It was great. I have no complaints, but the way this particular food person did it, and she was great. She was very informative, but she started out with the bread. And so I got stuffed on the bread. That was probably my fault. But toward the end of the tour, we got to the good stuff, and then I was too stuffed to eat. So you learn as you go. So that's the one thing about traveling is, with each trip, you learn as you go with, each experience, like for example, with this experience, I thought my phone was going to, you know, take care of the travel issues, and it didn't, because I thought we have an automatic eSIM, but it didn't. So this time I'm just going to do the app, the eSIM app, so I don't get charged. It's crazy. It was too much. So I'm definitely going to do that when I travel this time. So you learn as you go. I don't like learning from people because everyone has a different experience. Everyone comes with them with a different experience. And I've just learned with me, I'm not, I'm different. And whatever you want to call it, quirky, you want to call it quirky, that's fine. You want to call it eccentric, that's fine. Call it whatever you want to call it. But I'm not I mean, those kind of have negative connotations. I'm none of those things. I am very cautious. And I think you have to be cautious when you travel. Or anything. I'm just very cautious, whether it's spending, whether it's traveling, whether it's my career. Yeah, I've made mistakes with a lot of things, but I, I'm I've I'm not, I don't risk things ever, because people who risk are going to make mistakes. You can risk as long as you know that there's a safety net, and you can call it whatever you want, and I don't care what people think. I don't spend anymore. I used to spend, I spend on people I love, but if they're not, if it's not a reciprocal kind of a thing, or if I'm doing more than I need to for people that are not doing the same for me or have not in the past, I'm over it. I'm over it. I don't owe anyone anything. And when you start putting yourself in those positions, you need to be careful. But anyway, going back to Portugal, tips and suggestions. Is there anyone here? I don't see anyone here, but any highlights? I always do a swimming thing. I want to swim. I love the ocean. And I know, yes, I'm a shark person. I do love sea life, and I like sea animals, and I respect them. I respect the sharks. But there are some areas there, like there are in Greece, where you can swim, and there's no sharks there. They don't go to those areas. But I do want to swim somewhere. But I also want to make sure it's a professional boat, that it has a skipper and they are responsible and they are professional. But if you have any suggestions, please drop them in the comments, for food, churches, places to go, anywhere to go. I really do need suggestions, and I've been researching, and any safety tips. I mean, other than the regular, like I always make sure that, I try to make sure I'm very safe. I try to make sure I don't drink or eat anything that looks weird or suspicious, or, I don't know anything about. And most of these places are very safe. I try not to go to touristy towns, because anywhere you go that's touristy, they're gonna milk you. I live in a touristy town, so I know they milk people, because they know that, okay, they're here, they're stuck, and they're gonna take it. They're gonna take advantage of it. And I don't like that. That even goes for the doctors around where I live. It's ridiculous. And I don't like that. So now my doctors are not in my area. I am planning on leaving when the time is right, when the moment is right, when I feel like it's something I need to do. But this is, you can live where I live, but that's about it. Even the restaurants, they milk you, it's ridiculous. And there's not a lot of options where I live. There really isn't. And it's, I got lucky finding the place that I found, but now that, you know, things are sort of settled down, I can kind of make changes in the future. But anyway, going back to Portugal, any ideas? I just started traveling, so I'm still rough and I'm still anxious and I have a lot of anxiety when I travel. But but I'm learning to be better. That is the one thing. So when I went to Barcelona, I was better. And I think part of that was I was at a hotel that was, in a nice spot, and it helped a lot. But but yeah, give me some suggestions for, where to go, what to do, what to wear. I mean, I know to wear light, but like if I were to go into church, what would I need to wear? How can I be respectful? Um, so anyone out there? But anyway, so yeah, this George Pino trial was crazy. I mean, I thought he was guilty when I first heard about it, but I mean, the news always portrays things, and then when they get into the courtroom, it's a whole different ballgame. But I mean, when he believes he's innocent, when someone believes they are innocent, then I think that there's a fighting chance. And when the evidence lines up, there's a chance. And when people lose a loved one, they're angry. I know this from firsthand, from my experience. When it didn't happen to me, but when you lose a loved one, it's hard, and you felt when I was watching the trial, you felt it. And it's hard, especially if it's someone that is your kid. So anyway, I know people are working, right? But any suggestions? So anyway, I don't want to bore you. I've already done too much. And I want to say thank you for the subs. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's a lot of work. After this live, I'm going to give it a break. I'm not going to do anything with my phone. I'm not going to do anything, but drop me some suggestions for Portugal, please. And thank you again for the views and the subs and all of that stuff. I love all of you. I only have love. I love all of you. Thank you. Have a great day.